showing we don't need roads.
It's so good to see both of you. Seriously, it's an honor. So I really do appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Likewise.
I'm going to jump into this. So this is a strange way to start a question, but Kevin Bacon once told me that when he goes to a wedding, he tips the DJ not to play Footloose just because he doesn't want all of the attention to be on him. So I'm curious, when both of you go to weddings, you're two of the biggest stars on the planet. How do you keep the attention off of yourself? And Miss Estefan, do they ever try to play your songs when you attend a wedding?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
There's not a wedding that doesn't go on anywhere in the world that they don't put on
and
conga.
they will come and drag me into the conga line and I will happily conga, because like to be a part of people's special moments is one of the most special things that I have been able to have through my music.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's always a privilege and I love it.
I tip the DJ so he can play Footloose. And
I've got to say, Mr. Garcia, after the speech you give in this movie, I'm just going to invite you to my wedding whenever it happens, just to have you get up and give us.
You know, the pressure's on because I have two of my daughters are getting married in 30 days apart, so I have to give two speeches. And then it's, you got to make sure that one speech is not any better than the other speech.
Exactly. Oh boy. That's
I
right.
just got so much anxiety for you in that moment. So bless you, sir. But I believe in you. I know you can do it. So when you guys go to a wedding, what is like the one thing that you absolutely do not want to see happen?
I don't want to see a drunk groom. Like drunk grooms or really drunk brides. To me, I'm like, oh my God, it's your day. Like, oh, you're going to feel so bad tomorrow about this. So that I'm like, it sort of breaks my heart every time I see that.
I feel like I just hear too much Come On Eileen every time I go to a wedding. Like I really stop playing Come On Eileen, like at some point.
Yeah.
That's a good call. And now everyone that just heard that is just going to scratch it off their wedding playlist now from here on out.
I think mine's like on the opposite. Like I'm from the Bay Area and so like any hi-fi music is really a big deal. So, from the window to go dumb is like that like needs to happen.
That or them forgetting their vows.
Oh,
that would be pretty bad.
I lost my wedding rings the day of my wedding.
I know, you told me. That's insane.
Did you find it?
Yeah, we found them. My mom found them, but and I blamed everybody but me. I was like being such a bridezilla. I was like, I didn't give them to you. I gave them to you. And my mom was like, I never gave them to you. I'm like, I remember giving them to you. And obviously I was lying. I was so nervous. I was like, that's it. I'm going to get married with no rings. And it was I had put them on the safe, but I guess it moved and it was like in that little carpet. You know that there's like a carpet on the safe. It was under that. And my mom found them.
My heart just like sank for you. Like I wasn't even at this wedding, but my heart just sank for you.
Holding
Oh my God. Yeah. Chloe, obviously the last father of the bride wedding planner was played by another great SNL great, Martin Short. I'm sort of curious what lessons you've learned from maybe his time when he was on SNL over the years. And more importantly, if these two characters could meet, what do you think that scene would be like?
Well, it would be chaos in a great way. Martin actually played my dad in an SNL sketch last year, which is kind of cool. And I think watching him work, he's a comedic genius and just takes things to a 10 and has so many choices and was constantly like, ooh, what about this? What about this? Ooh, what about this? And just full of surprises. And I think I tried to take that in my interpretation of this wedding planner, which was just having like a ton of improv on set and like literally like a little note thing on my phone of like, I want to try this, just surprises. And I think for better or for worse, a handful of those wound up in the movie, which I was like, oh, they kept that. Okay. Okay,
I've got to ask, what was something that was like in the phone notes that you're proud made it in?
So many. There's like listening to Drake's podcast was definitely one. Sex in the City themed bat mitzvah. Then we improvised about I'm a Samantha. And then it was like, yeah, all that stuff. I was like, wow, they really kept it.
So much of this movie is about the difference in generations. What parents want for their kids is often very different than what kids want for themselves. I'm curious, in the entertainment industry, you guys have had such amazing and long careers. What is the difference in your generation of entertainers and the next generation of entertainers that are sort of rising up today?
Well, from my end, I can tell you that we were blessed to live in a time where you could develop a career with albums and there was If you were able to cement your third album, you pretty much had a career set for life, and fans that are for life. And I've been able to have those fans. I have fans that started listening to my music when they were teenagers, and now they have kids and they play my music for those kids. Nowadays, it's a lot tougher for young musicians to be able to get play beyond one single or the next single. Everything is very much about quick and the moment. They have the opportunity to take it into their own hands, but everything is a lot more fragmented. There's not one place where a lot of eyeballs can be on you. We did the Tonight Show, and the next day you had a top 10 hit. No longer do we have those kinds of avenues. So it's a different kind of challenge, but an artist will always make their music regardless of whatever is happening.
I'm going to confess, I am a huge fan of the Godfather trilogy. And there's a moment in this movie when Andy Garcia takes both of you into his office to have a very serious conversation about the wedding. And I started getting like massive Godfather vibes. Like I was like, this feels like a Godfather moment. I'm curious, did you guys ever get Godfather vibes in that moment? Or did you ever talk with Andy about the Godfather at any point?
We definitely talked about The Godfather
with
Andy. So, I mean, I'm a huge fan as well. And, you know, he would tell us stories about how he went to Coppola's ranch and, you know, how he got the part. Don't you remember when we had dinner with him that night, which was insane. I was just like blown away by it. It's funny that you say that you mentioned that scene. While we were shooting it, I did not get
me neither.
Godfather vibes. Although
I don't mean to be grasping at straws, I'm sorry.
In retrospect, I'm like, I see it.
I really think, and I think this movie backs it up, that a wedding should be a reflection of the two people who are getting married, who they are, where they come from, and what they love. And you two have played some truly amazing characters in your life. If you could see the wedding day of one of the characters you've played in your career in a movie or one of your SNL characters, which one would you love to see the wedding day of?
I mean, off the top of my head, obviously I want to see Anna Delvey's wedding.
I feel like she would just criticize everyone. It would just be her just going off on everyone.
VIP and exclusive. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like Dora's wedding would be crazy. I feel like Dora would have a tropical wedding with more animals as guests than humans. And I might be in agreement with that.
I want to go to both of those weddings. That sounds amazing. Sorry, my dog just walked up right as we start talking.
It's a dog-friendly Zoom.
Come here. You want to say hi? This is Daenerys.
She the nose.
She is very unhappy at this moment, but
it's so cute. She's so cute.
There's a really great moment in the movie where, Audrey, you revealed that you're engaged at a table full of your family, and everyone in the family has a completely different reaction to the news. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious for each of you guys, what is the craziest reaction someone in your family has ever had to one of your performances in a movie or a TV series?
I think more than a performance, I once was filming a scene with my mom. My mom was in producer village watching, and there was like a death scene in this movie called Belko, and she started screaming as I'm filming. And I'm like, oh my God, that's my mom. And it's like this amazing actor in front of me, and I'm like crying and I'm pretending to die. There's blood everywhere. And my mom's like, no, my daughter, no. And I literally got up full of blood and I go, Mom, it's called acting. Get out of here. And I kicked her off set, and she was crying and bawling.
I think it was Dora. I was able to get a lot of premiere tickets for that one. And I brought like my extended family and my family, they're all Peruvian, and they were so loud and they also were crying. And I was like, this isn't like really the type of movie where you cry, but they were just so proud and it was really cute. But it was like anything, I feel like anything Latinos do, like we're quite dramatic. I hate to like stereotype, but they exist for a reason. Stereotypes exist for a reason.
I love that though. That's like genuine, like that's what you want though, as opposed to like, hey, that was really nice, good job.
Yeah, I want a hype family.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta have a hype. I have a hype family.
Yeah.
My parents happened to come to the show that I did the SNL understudy where I did impressions of the cast, and I didn't tell them because you never know if something's gonna make it. And then I walked out and I just saw my mom like, which is like really distracting. And they're like, anytime they're in the audience, they're like. And like forget that I am on like live television and I fully see, and my mom does this like dance thing that I do all the time actually. But yeah, that's always really fun.
I'd say that Luis Miguel, which is a show that I did for Netflix, playing the singer Luis Miguel for the third season, I had to play him at age 50 with a ton of prosthetics, a bodysuit, and just like my family not being able to recognize me. And my dad came to set, who's 60 years old, and there's a picture of us together where I look older than him. So that was pretty wild.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.